Most people who do extraordinarily well in business get outside of the inner circle. Let me say that again. They get outside of the inner circle. And I think that I'll be really vulnerable and share my experience when I was first stepping into this coaching world and what happened to me and what my experience has been is that, we're all human. We want to be a part of something. We want to be connected to something. We want people to accept us. I mean, these are all pieces of human nature. And when I was first starting out, I saw all the leaders in the coaching space and in the coaching industry. And I certainly was like, how do you get into that inner circle? Right? Because that inner circle is where the money is. And I want to hear, please share. This is something I really want you to give me feedback on. Share with me, like, when you look at your industry, what's your secret thoughts? When you look at the leaders, right? When you see the leaders of your industry, kind of what are your secret thoughts on them? Because mine were in the beginning, how do I get in the room? There's an amazing song in Hamilton the musical that says, I want to be in the room where it happens. And that's kind of the mentality I had when I first started was, how do you get in that room, right? Because through those connections, through those people who are already doing it, if you're in that room, you got to be somebody, you must become somebody, you must, right? That's how you make this work and make it happen. And so I very much thought those thoughts of like, how do I get in the room where it happens with those people? And what I recognized was that, while I did in some levels and, did kind of connect with some of those people, I also recognized that when you form a circle, a very tight circle, it can be a trap. When you form a very tight circle, it can also be a trap. And I never fit in. And, maybe that's for another Facebook Live, but I never fit in. I have always done things differently. I've always been a little different. I've always been a little loud. I've always been a little bossy. I've always been a little off center. I've always been a little different. And so in knowing that, it's like, I kind of spent my whole life wavering between wanting to fit in and saying, fuck it, I don't care if I fit in. But what I did find in business is that very tight circle can become a trap that you can get stuck in the middle of, and it's really hard to get out of. And so when I began to say, I'm not going to be in the circle and I'm going to create my own platform. I'm going to create my own circle. I'm going to focus less on trying to be in the room where it happens and focus more on building my own table, right? Creating my own room. It's really where my success happened. And so, a friend of mine and a colleague, Chris Brogan, wrote a book called The Freak Shall Inherit the Earth. And he says he wrote the book for his children who are a little weird, a little off center. But the truth of the matter is that it really is about, it is the people that are unique. It is the people that are outside of the circle. It's the people that are a little different who typically get the most attention. Now, there's a danger in that. There's also the danger of people sometimes don't understand the difference of creating their own circle and being outside of the circle. And sometimes going, oh, I'm just going to be weird and different. And that, for the sake of being weird and different, doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it can actually backfire. So what I'm asking is there something you're trying to get, do, be, or have, and you're trying to do that through kind of the industry ladder or the environmental ladder or the colleague ladder, whatever that is. And how could you succeed on a much deeper level by stepping out of that and creating your own path? A great example of this for me was I just struggled to get on people's stages. And I struggled to get on people's stages, and people didn't know me, and people wouldn't say yes to me. And I don't know, maybe they didn't want me. I don't know. And I started to create my own stages. And, this is a really great example. Oprah tells a story about this as well, that the industry way of doing things were that when she got her show is that you gave a piece of it to other people, and then that was less burden on you and she never gave a piece of her show away, and therefore obviously when it became what it became, it was all hers financially and every piece of it. And so I just say, think a moment about what's going on. You know, I know they're calling it Mexit, but Meghan Markle and Harry's separation from that. It's like, he's never going to be king. He's sixth in line, so it's a very, very small chance that he's ever going to be king. So he's in a position with a wife that is unhappy and a very independent woman and knew how to make her own money. He's in a position where he can either be a highly paid assistant for the rest of his life, or he can chart his own path and create his own circle and develop whatever financial independence and freedom that they want, and be who they want and do what they want, and get out of the trap of that very tight circle. But outside of the circle is a lot of money and a lot of freedom. And so I would ask you, in your attempt to accomplish what you want to accomplish in your business and in your finances and in your life, I would ask you, are you trying to kind of weasel your way? I don't mean that in a negative way or a scammy way. Are you trying to like slide your way into the inner circle, and you're pushing and you're pulling and you're trying to get in there? Or could you just step back and go, I think if I built my own circle, that I could stand out, I could be unique. There's a whole group of people that have to also feel this way, and the circle doesn't interest them or entertain them. And I could find my people over here by building my own thing, my own way. So there's a lot of money outside the circle.